Right? Correct? See? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Chari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Varivakajarastarasi Shrimad His Divine Grace Sri Lasi Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Varivakajarastarasi Shrimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Ananti Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Bhagavad Gita Upanishad Ki Jai. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premananda Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Brindavanishwari Prishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shri Vasudi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay. Thank you, Ram. Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Okay, thank you. Maramat Kia. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Sit down. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, 13th chapter, Nature, Enjoyer and Consciousness, verse 35, which is the final verse. So, please repeat. Chaitra Gyayor Evam Antaram Jnana Chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Vidur Yanti Te Param Chaitra Gayo Evam Anantaram Jnana Chakshusha Antaram Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Vidur Yanti Te Param Chaitra Gayor Evam Antaram Jnana Chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Vidur Yanti Te Param Chaitra Gayo Evam Antaram Jnana Chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Vidur Yanti Te Param. Okay, go ahead. Antaram Jnana Chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Vidur Yanti Te Param. Okay, word for word, please repeat. Chaitra, of the body. Chaitra Gyayo, of the proprietor of the body. Evam, thus. Antara, the difference. Jnana Chakshusha, by the eye of knowledge. Actually, the vision of knowledge. Bhuta, of the living entity. Prakriti, from material nature. Moksham, the liberation. Cha, also. Yea, those who vidu, know, yanti, approach, te, they, param, the Supreme. So, translation Srila Prabhupada. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain to the supreme goal. Please repeat. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain to the supreme goal. Purport Srila Prabhupada. The purport of this 13th chapter is that one should know the distinction between the body, the owner of the body, and the supersoul. One should recognize the process of liberation as described in verses 8 through 12. Then one can go on to the supreme destination. A faithful person should at first have some good association to hear of God, and thus gradually become enlightened. If one accepts a spiritual master, one can learn to distinguish between matter and spirit. And that becomes the stepping stone for further spiritual realization. A spiritual master, by various instructions, A spiritual master, by various instructions, teaches his students to get free from the material conception of life. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita, we find Krishna instructing Arjuna to free him from materialistic considerations. One can understand that this body is matter. It can be analyzed with its 24 elements. The body is the gross manifestation, and the subtle manifestation is the mind and psychological effects. And the symptoms of life are the interaction of these features. But over and above this, there is the soul, and there is also the supersoul. The soul and the supersoul are two. This material world is working by the conjunction of the soul and the 24 material elements. One who can see the constitution of the whole material manifestation as this combination of the soul and the material elements, and can also see the situation of the supersoul, becomes eligible for transfer to the spiritual world. These things are meant for contemplation and for realization, and one should have a complete understanding of this chapter with the help of the spiritual master. Mukam karochi vachalam pangam laite girim yad kripatam aham vande Shri Guru dinatarinam. Chaitra chaitra gayo evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti muksham cha ye vidor yanti te param. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in the material world, attain to the supreme goal. Yes. So, these, as we've said before, these last 6 chapters give us a lot of gyan. But this gyan is supportive of bhakti. It is not separate from bhakti. Similarly, the first 6 chapters, they give a lot of discussion on karma. But those discussions on karma between Krishna and Arjuna are supportive of bhakti. The middle 6 chapters, then Krishna is revealed as sadhya, the goal, and the sadhana is given. The sadhana means means of attainment, sajja sadhana. So this last 6 chapters of the knowledge is supportive of sadhana. And we need that. In the realized position, one is full of bhava and prema. And he's situated in his spiritual form, his swarup. And in that position, he automatically engages under Yoga Maya in his natural, realized spiritual position. But when we're in the period of sadhana, that means we're trying to overcome our conditional life. The devotee has to practice 2 areas. He has to overcome his conditional life. That means the body is a condition. We have a male body, female body, young body, old body, demigod body, rakshasa body, animal body, germ body. In the human form, particularly here on Bhumandala, we can overcome the restrictions that the soul puts on the soul, that the material energy puts on the soul by spiritual knowledge. Then we can attain to bhava and prema. So this is the science of bhakti. Many people think, I'll take Diksha, or I'll accept this prophet, and I'll accept this idea, and I'll just believe. They have a mystical idea of bhakti or spiritual life. They think the Guru will bless me, and I'll become God. I'll become like him. No. This mystical approach, there is a mystical aspect in the sense that spirit exerts control over matter. The so-called laws of matter are subject to the intervention of Paramatma and Brahman. However, the great acharyas, they always enumerate the science of bhakti. And by employing the scientific processes of bhakti, one can attain the supreme. People think, I'll get Diksha, I want Diksha. No. Shiksha, 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 shiksha. Arjuna is getting shiksha from Krishna, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport. He's giving him all sorts of information. And here in this sloka, the purpose of this information is given so that he can first see the difference between matter and spirit. He can know what is matter and spirit. This material creation is a mixture of matter and spirit. So we have to scientifically understand that, as Prabhupada says here. These things are meant for contemplation and for realization, not just some kind of blind faith, I'll be saved, but realization, progress in understanding, in liberation from material illusion to spiritual, as it says here, jnana chakshusha, the vision of knowledge. And how is it done? One should have complete understanding of this chapter with the help of the spiritual master. That means the spiritual master is the spiritual teacher. He gives knowledge, just like Arjuna is giving knowledge to, Krishna is giving knowledge to Arjuna. And by that knowledge, he is becoming enlightened. He is making progress. And here we have it here. In order, one should learn the difference between the body and the knower of the body. So the body is matter. The knower of the body is Jivatma, the soul. But there is also another knower, we've heard earlier in the chapter, and that is Paramatma. So this body is 3 things. It is matter, gross and subtle, and it is Jivatma, and it is Paramatma. And one should know scientifically, through knowledge, and as Prabhupada says, by contemplation and then realization, Gyan becomes Vigyan. One should realize, yes. So that realization comes by following tapasya. Those that think, I'll just accept some prophet, some spiritual master, and then automatically, what are they doing? They're saying, I don't want to perform tapasya. I don't want to practice celibacy. I don't want to give up tea and coffee. I don't want to give up television. I don't want to give up gambling. I don't want to give up excessive sex life. I want it to come automatically because I believe. That is a foolish idea, and it will condemn one to many, many lifetimes. Lord Brahma, he awoke to consciousness on the lotus flower in the universe at the beginning, and he was considering, what is this darkness all around? What am I? What should I do? How will I know? What did he want to know? What was the thought that came in his head? What is my source? Lord Brahma did not think, I am the source of this darkness. I am the source of this arrangement. I have a source also. He did not think he is God. So in Kali Yuga, many, many people, they take Guru as God, Prophet as God. And in these man-made religions, they have no conception of God. He's an impersonal force. So therefore, he's not demanding anything. He's just there, impersonal force. He's an energy field. And he can be used, or it can be used. But Lord Brahma thought, what is my source? And this is Vibhinangsa. The Jivatma is also known as Vibhinangsa. Vibhinangsa means he is separated particle of the Supreme. What is one aspect of this quality of Vibhinangsa is that he has a separate sense of self. He has a separate sense of identity. Therefore, Lord Shiva is also Vibhinangsa. He does not think, I am the Supreme. He thinks, Vaishnava Yata Shambhu, I am the servant of the Supreme. Lord Brahma does not think, I am the Supreme. He is Vibhinangsa, even though he's empowered. So the living entity should understand, I am Vibhinangsa. But in the material world, the root of our problem is that we want to be the Supreme. But we are not the Supreme. We are Gopi Bhatta Kamalayo Dasa Das Anadas. We are the servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme. We adopt position of service in the transcendental world spontaneously. Now Vishnu, Baladev, Mahavishnu, Paramatma, they're not Vibhinangsa. They know I am Vishnu. I am Purusha. I am the Supreme. I am the expansion of Supreme. I am Mahavishnu. I am Ghabadakshay Vishnu. I am Shiradakshay Vishnu. I am Purusha. I am the Supreme. But Lord Shiva, no. He's Vibhinangsa. I am an emanation from the Supreme, but I have a separate identity. Similarly, Jivatma and all the Devatas who are elevated in knowledge know that I am not the Supreme. I am a separated Vibhinangsa part of the Supreme. And the other aspect of our Vibhinangsa nature is that we have so-called free will. Because we are not Vishnu, Vishnu has given us separate identity. We are Jiva Shakti. We are not Purusha, we are Shakti. And he has given us separated free will. Vishnu, the Chaturvyuha, Shiradakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Mahavishnu, they are all acting exactly as the instruments of the Supreme Lord. But the Vibhinangsa has his own free will, his ability to focus his consciousness where he will. And not only that, he can draw different emotions from his soul. He can bring them forward, and then he can project them. But the problem is, in the material world, we are projecting this consciousness and the mood of this consciousness to enjoying matter. And therefore, we are bound by the laws of karma. But yoga means, always remember this, one name of Krishna is Tribhuvanath. Just like we're saying, what are we? What is this world, in fact? It is Tribhuvan. It is the gross world. Our body is part of the gross world. This external world, of course this is Vrindavan Dham, but Bhumandala, Bhuloka, Svargaloka, Jnanaloka, Tapaloka, Mahaloka is below, Satyaloka, and then below that, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Talatala, Patala, all these 14 lokas, they are all part of the gross manifestation, gross or subtle. And we have this body, it is also gross energy. It is our conditioned life. But we also, another bhuvan, another loka, is the mental world. As Prabhupada mentions here, and at the beginning, Krishna explained to Arjuna that there is 20 elements of the gross world. And then Prabhupada in the purport, he says there is the subtle elements. This is the mental world, the astral world sometimes, the psychic world. And that is mind, intelligence, false ego, and chittam. Chittam means contaminated consciousness. But it is the mental world. And Prabhupada mentions there the life symptoms. Life symptoms means driti, determination, free will. We can choose. And why are we choosing? On what basis? Ichcha dvesha. I like this, I don't like that. I'm attracted to this, I don't want that. And then we interpret this world, sukheshu, happiness and distress. Oh, this is bad. People are insulting me, it's bad. Oh, people are charming me, it's good. So this is what Krishna said earlier. We have the mental world. But the problem is, ahankara, false ego, is polluting the buddhi. On this mental plane, you have manas. Manas is like a cup, and it is containing the consciousness of the soul. And the soul, the consciousness in combination with the manas is being regulated, just like you have a mind. So what is your mind? In your mind you can think an orange. And within your mind, your buddhi will construct an orange. In your mind, your buddhi will take the mental and the chittam consciousness and construct an apple. So the buddhi is influenced by ahankara. Ahankara means aham mameti. I am this body, and things related to this body are mine. Krishna says here, proprietor of the body. Krishna is the ultimate proprietor, because he has created everything. So the false ego is influencing the buddhi. How to overcome that? Bhakti Gyan, the knowledge of the spiritual master. The first item of spiritual knowledge, you are not the body. You are spirit soul. You are Jivatma. You are not this body. And you are not this mind with all its karmas and desires. What are you? You are the other bhuvan. You are the spirit soul. This spirit soul is never contaminated, but the consciousness, when it's focused on enjoying the material energy and claiming proprietorship in an ultimate sense of the body's accruements, then he becomes bewildered. He becomes disconnected from Purusha. He becomes an enjoyer, a false enjoyer of the material energy. So the Tribhuvan is the gross world, gross body, the mental world, and the spiritual platform. The spiritual platform, Atma is there, Jivatma and Paramatma, Krishna. And yoga is very, very simple. Instead of focusing the consciousness on the material gross world, you focus the consciousness on the spiritual plane. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And you have to overcome, and this is the word that Lord Brahma heard. How do I know my source? What is this creation? It is not my creation. Then the first word in the material world he heard. Tapa. That means tapasya. Austerity. That means self-discipline, self-control for a higher purpose. So we have this conditional life. We have this mind with all these ideas that I'm the body and these things belong to me. And then we have this gross body, and it is conditioning to act in this way. I act as a man, I act as a female, I act as a child. I'm under the Mahamaya. I'm in this illusion. What does Bhakti Vinod Thakur say? Jeev jago, Gora Chandra bole, Pisa chera, kole. How long will you lie asleep? So we're lying asleep in the bed. What do? We put the alarm clock. I want to get up before Brahma Muhurta and chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we're Vibhinansa, we have a sense of individuality. So the bhakta, he must look at himself, antirmukh, and he must look. And this is the next chapter. Am I in Tamagun now? I just woke up, it's 3:30. Is he going to go back to Tamagun, or is he going to take a shower? The shower means Rajagun. He's going to take Rajagun. He's going to take Snan. Very lucky in Vrindavan. It is Jamuna water everywhere. And then after he's taken Snan, what will he do? He'll sit down and he'll think, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma. And he will, and Pratyahara, he will withdraw from this gross body and the fluctuations of the mind, and he'll fix it on the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. And then he'll chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in that way he'll train himself to see the Supreme. Instead of looking, oh, I'm awake now. Oh, let me go back to sleep. No. Tapasya, means I exert myself, I give up sense enjoyment, I discipline. We have to eat, we have to sleep, can get married if you want sex, you can have children, you can stop gambling. But you discipline these activities so that it is in a good condition, your conditional life, for doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. But that is, you have to realize, we have to realize, that is our choice. We are Vibhinangsa. And according to how we focus our ability and our potency, if we focus on the material world as the be-all and end-all, or if we discipline ourselves like Lord Brahma, he heard tapa, so he understood, now I have to control my consciousness and I will just meditate now. What is my source? From where have I come? So that is the meditation of yoga. Instead of becoming totally involved in the material, the gross world, we take the consciousness and we fix it upon the Supreme. And the reason yoga has been practiced in the Vedas for millions and billions of years is because there is a spiritual platform. The last 200 years, atheism is everywhere in society. People send their children to the educational institutions to become materialist. Everything is matter. There is no spirit. It's your psychological idea. It is compensation for all the troubles you're enduring in the world. Therefore you believe that God will rescue you. No. The yogi who practices tapasya and purifies his mind of ahankara and replaces it with swarup, siddhi, personal, direct realization of his spiritual nature, Krishna says he attains the Supreme. Directly and personally, not through some idea of faith, acceptance, some kind of mystical union, but direct personal experience. Those who see with the eye of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation, that was in chapter verses 8 to 11, right? You can go back and read that. Humility, pridelessness, retiring to a place for doing bhajan, detachment from the general mass of people, it's all there. And can also understand this process, can attain the supreme goal. So this is the scientific process. Krishna says, Ye tam mam prapadyante, all of them as they surrender, I reciprocate accordingly. So Prabhupada would always encourage, in one life, go back to Godhead. In chapter 13 of Harinam Chintamani, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, a spirit soul can spend many, many lifetimes doing a little bhakti, watching the television, then next life doing a little bhakti and opening a business. Next life doing a little bhakti and traveling here and there. But if the spirit soul becomes dhriti, dhruva means determined, and this determination that Dhruva Maharaj, his 4th canto Bhagavatam, he went to the forest and he decided, I want to see Vishnu. and Vishnu will give me a kingdom bigger than my father. He was Dhruv, just like we have Dhruvaloka, the fixed star. He was not going to be distracted. Jad Bharat, he had a problem before, right? He was Bhava Bhakti almost in the forest, but he had material affection for a deer. So his next life, he became dull, Jad. He didn't talk to anyone. At the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami left home. His father was Vedavyas. I don't want this material affection. I want to go and see. Queen Kunti at the beginning of the Bhagavatam says, "Oh Krishna, please cut off my material attachment to the Pandavas, my children." They're great devotees. But what's Queen Kunti saying? I'm seeing them as my relatives, mameti, as mine, as related to my material body. Please cut off that attachment. The second verse of the Bhagavatam says, Paramo nimacharanam satam, that this Bhagavatam is understandable. There are nimatsaranam that have no material attachment. The gopis, when they heard Krishna playing the flute, what did they do? They didn't think my father, my uncle, my husband. They just thought, Krishna wants, we can go and serve Krishna. And they put everything aside. So that is Dhruv, that is Dhriti. And that is our choice. And that is the essence of our ability. Don't think, oh, I'm following the Guru. He's initiated me. It'll happen automatically. No. You must be determined. You have to think of Lord Brahma on the lotus. You have to think of Dhruva Maharaj. You have to think of Jad Bharat. You have to think of Sukadev Goswami. You have to take shelter of those. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he spontaneously composed 100 verses. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Lord Chaitanya, you have come to give bhakti that is characterized by vairag, detachment from fruitive results, fruitive activity, and attachment to vidya, knowledge of transcendence. So, and by practicing that, we will go to the spiritual world. Now in Ishopanishad, one of my favorite verses, we'll finish on this. So listen very carefully. Sambhutim cha vinasham cha yastad vedo vayam saha. Vinashena mritum tirva sambhut amritam ashnute. One should know perfectly well about the personality of Godhead and his transcendental name. So you should know everything about the spiritual platform. What is happening in Goloka, in Gokul? What is the Leela of Krishna? You should know Rasa Tattva. You should know how through ecstasy of prem, the gopis, the cowherd boys, Mother Yashoda are interacting. And he should also know as well the temporary material creation. The temporary material creation with its temporary demigods, men and animals. You see this? Temporary. This body is temporary. This material creation, it's temporary. It will come and it will go. The glance of Mahavishnu, and then it will be withdrawn. When one knows these two things, because when we know this body is temporary, what happens? We become detached, right? You have a motor car or a motorbike, you know it's not going to last forever. So when it finally breaks down, you think, well, that's the nature of a motorbike. So this body is temporary. You become detached through knowledge. This is why Krishna is giving knowledge. Temporary is the first word to describe this world. With its temporary demigods, the devas, they're all great souls serving Krishna, men and animals. When one knows these, he surpasses death. And the ephemeral, again, ephemeral means temporary, cosmic manifestation, this gross world. And in the eternal kingdom of God, he enjoys his eternal life of bliss and knowledge. So, that is sadhana bhakti. Through determination, we take the consciousness, our possession, and direct it to the spiritual platform. And we become renounced, therefore, from the material platform. And the best way to do that is, as Prabhupada said, by hearing from the spiritual master and sadhusanga, sava shastra hoy, lava mata, sadhusanga, sava siddhi hoy. What does it say in the Bhagavatam? Mahat sevam dwara mahor vimuktes. Right? Service of the sadhu, the Mahatma, the liberated soul, is the gateway to liberation. So this is the science of bhakti. But in the center of everything, it is our choice. Yeyitam mam prapadyante. All of them, as they surrender, I reciprocate accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, Sadhu Sangha, Vrindavan Dham, rainy season ki jai. Any quick question? Yes. Bhava is the stage before Prem. Bhava Bhakti, in different ways to divide the stages of Bhakti. First one is Sadhana Bhakti. That is subdivided into Vaidhi. Vaidhi means we follow rules and regulations. But we are cultivating Rag. Just like when you're learning, say, guitar, you're practicing your scales and your rhythms. You haven't developed your musical ability, but Rag, you want to. So the next stage is Bhava Bhakti. After you play a musical instrument, you become fluent. And then you enjoy and you can express yourself. So then Bhava becomes Prem. So at the stage of Bhava Bhakti, that's when we realize Krishna and we realize our relationship with Krishna. But we must go to Bhava Bhakti through Sadhana Bhakti. We must be very careful. That is the teaching of Jad Bharat. He was almost on Bhava Bhakti, but then he gave up his practice and he became affectionate to a deer. So the deer is very cute and beautiful in the forest. Oh, I have responsibility. So he gave up, and then he took another birth and through the affection. So we want Bhava and we want to condense Bhava into Prem. But we always have to practice the rules and regulations. And within that, just like if you have a garden, you put a fence and then you cultivate the garden. You don't let animals or monkeys come in to destroy your garden. You keep the monkeys and the animals out. So you want to get the fruit You want to get prem, but you go through a scientific process of sadhana bhakti. Any other question? Yes. You want to know?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for such a wonderful class. I just wanted to know about the meditation. You said that meditation should also be followed. Meditation.
Sorry?
Meditation.
Huh? Oh, yeah, smaranam. Yeah.
No.
Don't think, I'm only going to chant. No, we do shravanam. We hear. That is most important. We hear the philosophy. We hear Shastra. We hear Acharya commentary. We hear bona fide Guru. Then we chant. Kirtan means to describe, actually. And then we will naturally be able to do smaranam, because our smaranam is composed of our realization. As we realize Krishna, and then we should fix that realization of Krishna through smaranam.
No, I'm just asking about the knowledge we are gaining to Bhagavad Gita, as well as we are doing the Bhagavatam as well as the Bhagavad Gita. So with that, should that meditation be taken along with it, or meditation should be taken separate thing?
I didn't understand.
You didn't understand. I'm asking about that we are following the process of Bhagavad Gita. We are following the process of Bhagavad Gita, as well as we are doing Bhagavatam daily, in routine. He's not following.
क्या बोल रहे? Not clear. The microphone is too much clear. You cut down the bass, increase the mid-range. Yes, I can hear you perfectly, but not clearly. Well, we want to read Gita, we want to read Bhagavatam, we want to read. Well, you have to observe. At the beginning, we have to perform bhakti under direction of Guru. But as we realize Krishna, Chaita Guru will guide us. So we should always study the instructions of Acharya and the instructions of Shastra and the example of the Acharya and bona fide Guru. Well, we're always meditating. We're meditating on the holy name. But then we are also, in Harinam Chintamani, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that first we realize the name. What does that mean? We realize the presence of Krishna in the name. And then the next thing we realize is Rupa. When we chant the name, the form of Krishna appears. But we can cultivate that, just like at the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Narada Muni, he practiced remembering. This is called Manasik Murti. And then Krishna actually appeared. So first name, the presence of Krishna in the name, then the Rupa, and then when you're thinking of the quality, you're seeing the Rupa, the form of Krishna, then you consider the Guna, the nature of Krishna. And then after that, the Leela. And the Leela, entrance to the Leela, is understanding the Sangha of Krishna. Who are the gopis? Who are the Astashaki? Who are Vatsalya? Understanding all that. So, through bhakti, you create a vision, as it says here, Jnana Chakshusha. You create an internal vision of the spiritual world. Usually in the material life, we are just thinking, I've got to go to work, I've got to feed the husband, I've got to do this, I've got to pay this bill. And we have this chatter in our head. We're always discussing what I have to do in the material world. But the bhakta, through his regulated meditation, is constructing jnana chakshush, a vision of the spiritual platform, like it says here. So you have to do that through antirmukh, by being internally directed. Normally we're externally directed. We're thinking what I shall do, what I have to do in the material world. But we have to create this internal contemplation. You understand? Through the Gita, through the Bhagavatam, through Chaitanya Leela, we should consider our sampradaya is that we are members of Lord Chaitanya's Kirtan party. We are the Prabhupada Parivar. Parivar means family. There are many sections. We are in the Kirtan party of Lord Chaitanya. And what are we doing? We are meditating on Goloka Nath. We're meditating on Radha Krishna and the Gopis and the Astashakis and Mother Yashoda. We're meditating on that from within the Sankirtan party of Lord Chaitanya. And we're building that internal vision. You understand? And then once you construct, just like when I say, look, imagine an orange, immediately you can think of an orange. Because you've seen an orange many, many times. So if you construct the vision, jnana chakshusha, the eye of knowledge, if you construct the Kirtan party of Mahaprabhu, and then from within that you construct a vision of Golok, and you keep that in the heart, then you can refer to it in one moment. Just like you can refer to an apple in one moment through your mind. Do you understand? So that is what we're doing. That we're realizing the spiritual world through constructing the manasik murti. And then your mind will be occupied. You can still do all the material things, but within yourself you'll be feeling nectar. You'll be realizing Krishna. You'll be realizing Goloka. You'll be realizing Lord Chaitanya dancing in the Rath Yatra. So then, when that is within your heart, then your mind will focus on that. Because the mind doesn't just think of words, it thinks of things, of objects, of form. So we have to replace material form with spiritual form. Is it clear? That's what the beginning of the Bhagavatam is. Narada Muni, he was taught by the Bhaktivedantas, and every evening and morning he would sit down and meditate on the form of Vishnu. And then one day, Vishnu directly appeared to him. So that's the Bhagavatam. That's the science of bhakti. Replacing the material forms and ideas with spiritual jnana chakshus. And how to fertilize that within the mind? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.